Hello. So now that we have discussed innovation in education, uh, we can continue with one example of an innovative pedagogy, which is place based education. So, when we concluded our last lecture, we introduced place based education as one of and innovative ways of teaching and learning. There are many, like forest based education, or experiential learning, or play based education, or problem based education. So, there are a number of pedagogies which are quite innovative and they address different learning outcomes. So, one of them is place based education. So, we will have a brief insight into what is place based education. So, as the picture here suggests, and the name itself is quite explanatory, place based education goes beyond the classrooms or beyond the school building into and takes learning teaching into the surrounding environment, the surrounding community, and it emphasizes connecting learning to the local culture, local community, uh, so that the children find more meaning into what they are learning. It is more contextual, it is more relatable to what they have seen around them and what the future possibilities hold in terms of finding employment within their community or contributing to their community in a way which is sustainable towards their language, towards their culture. So, by grounding education in this unique context of place, this method aims to foster deeper engagement, deeper sense of belonging, citizenship, and pride in their own settings. So, what is place based education in terms of contextual learning, in terms of being interdisciplinary, or in terms of its application in the real world? So, place based education is offers contextual learning since it is rooted in the local culture, the local community, and the environment. So, it can be uh, a unique or local flora and fauna, it could be the local history, it could be the industry which is unique to that culture or context. Um, like in India, we have uh, this whole new makhana cottage industry coming up in North Bihar. So that is unique to that particular place. So students, in addition to learning their regular subjects, they can engage with community and learn more about this industry, more about how makhana grows, why it grows there only, like that. So the other is the interdisciplinary nature of place-based education. So of course there is learning of traditional subjects which are mm, age appropriate, which are learning stages appropriate, uh, like numeracy, language skills, uh, literacy, science, social science. But the uniqueness of place based education lies in their interconnectedness and in their interrelatedness. So, when students move into their community, into their context for learning, so all these uh, subjects, the domains, they overlap and they contribute to each other in consolidating the knowledge which is gained in discrete classes within the classroom setting. And not only that, place based education helps them to apply this knowledge in their real world settings, real world scenario, where they can engage with community experts, they can engage with uh, people from different walks of life to apply what they learned through their education, which was non traditional in this way. And this will foster a deeper connect with their own environment, a respect for their own culture, for the uniqueness of what their community offers to the wider world, and it will also foster stability and sustenance of these unique cultures which might be endangered or which might be facing threat from the modernization or industrialization or deforestation or the local flora or fauna or the local history which is not widely known. So these students, when they engage in place-based education, they can carry this forward. And as we were discussing, these are the benefits of place based education. So, enhanced engagement, civic responsibility, it uh, develops a sense of ownership, critical thinking, problem solving, communication, and independence. Not only taking ownership of their own learning, but also the ownership of protecting their environment, protecting their local community, ensuring equitable growth for all. This implementation of place based education, although it sounds challenging, but it can be achieved in a collaborative manner where experts from different uh, disciplines, from different professions, they come together uh, to design a curriculum which integrates all the essential elements of place-based learning, like the community, the local museums, the local industry, the experts, the community elders who have this knowledge of the traditional way of doing things, or they have a first-hand experience of local history. So the experts, the industry people, uh, cottage industry in particular. So these people can come together, collaborate, and uh, help in putting forward an integrated curriculum which is meaningful for the local context. The local context is the key here. And some of the practical strategies which can ensure success of place-based education um, in a small setting, in a wider setting, is the field experiences where students can be taken out for nature walks, for treks and trips, for museum visits, for local historical spots where they can then develop their curiosity and discuss with their teachers and peers and community elders to dig deeper into the background of that local environment or the local um, story, to develop a critical insight into the details. Then community partnerships, of course, local organization, businesses and members can provide students with opportunities to engage in real world projects and problem solving. So these interdisciplinary connections will connect different subject areas such as science, social science, and language, even art. Um, and this will offer a more holistic and integrated learning experience. So, not only the community elders or teachers can navigate through various domains of place based education, but this offers a wonderful opportunity for students to express their own leadership qualities, to take their own initiative, to design their own learning program, and to assess their learning. So it fosters a sense of agency, civic engagement, sense of leadership, sense of decision making, and offers confidence, and uh, students grow in self esteem also. So it's a holistic education in terms of knowledge building, skill building, and an overall behavioral and attitude development. But as with all kinds of innovative uh, entrepreneurial interventions, there are some challenges involved which can be overcome with thoughtful and careful process and implementation. One is curriculum alignment. Uh, in the enthusiasm of trying something new, one cannot ignore the stage based, the learning based growth outcome, knowledge outcome of children. So, the curriculum, even in place based learning activity, should align with the standards which have been set for the learning and skill development outcomes. So, the another challenge which could hamper this process is resource limitations, because such activities need funding, need say ensuring safety and security of children, transportation, then volunteer uh, groups, and people from community who are willing to invest their time, energy, and resources. So, but these can be ensured with careful planning and forethought. And then the other stakeholders, such as administrators, parents, and policymakers, they have to approve such process uh, plans and integration of place-based education. So that is another challenge. But as we said, they can be overcome with thoughtful planning and expanding the partnerships, using technology, leveraging technology, which can help students. Like, for example, they can, when they are studying their local flora and fauna, nowadays we have Google Lens, so they can just click pictures and access detailed information about what they see around them. So, even without the intervention of a teacher, they can take ownership of their own learning. They can use technology sitting in one part of the world. They can access libraries. They can access workshops in different parts of the world. And thus, their learning can be enhanced, and or it is not restricted just because of geographical or infrastructure limitations. So, and this goes a long way in addressing the problems which are related to equity in socioeconomic status, or geographical remoteness of some places, which becomes a barrier for quality education. Hopefully, you gained some meaningful knowledge about place based education through this brief discussion. So maybe now you can reflect on few of these questions which are interesting, and you can do this in your own time. For now, you can discuss with your friends and peers how can teachers empower students to take ownership of their place-based learning experiences. So how you as student teachers can uh, envisage place-based education in your own settings. You can discuss that. And what strategies can teachers use to assess students learning in a place-based education? Because along with teaching and learning, assessment is a crucial component. So you may discuss how assessment can take place in a place-based context. So wrapping up this brief discussion, uh, here are the highlights. Place-based education connects learning to local environments and enhances student engagement, thus fostering critical thinking skills. So It integrates local resources and authentic learning experiences and also involves community partnerships. Teachers can facilitate place based learning experiences by connecting curriculum to the local context and advocating for community partnerships, while students engage in inquiry, hands on activities, and reflection. And assessment in place based education should be more authentic, it should be ongoing, reflective, and it should be inclusive rather than just standardized parameters. So, balancing both the requirements of the formal curriculum and the principles of place based education. So, I hope this session was useful for you all. We can continue discussing this further. Thank you.